Have you ever wondered if the healthy advice you followed your whole life might actually be hurting you? Here's something shocking. Recent studies from Harvard and the Mayo Clinic reveal that some of the most common habits people over 65 think are good may silently weaken your heart muscles and even your memory. I'm 83 years old, and my doctor says my health markers are better than most 60-year-olds. The reason? Because I stopped listening to the old rules. Today I'm going to show you 4 habits once labeled bad habits that science now proves can protect your brain, boost your energy, and help you live stronger after 70. Before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me where you're watching this from and what time of day is it right now? Drop your answer in the comments below. I read every one of them. And if this video surprises you, hit the subscribe button. If it doesn't, well, hit like anyway, because what you'll learn next might just change how you think about growing older. Habit 1, the power of the afternoon nap. There's something peaceful about the soft light of the afternoon, that quiet moment after lunch, when the world slows down just a little. You might feel your eyelids grow heavy, your thoughts drift, and your body gently asking for rest. Most of us were raised to fight that feeling, to power through the fatigue with another cup of coffee or a walk around the house. For years, we were told that taking a nap meant being lazy, unproductive, or weak. But what if your body wasn't being lazy at all? What if it was trying to keep you alive longer? Science now tells us that this simple natural urge to rest is part of your body's circadian rhythm, an internal clock that guides energy, mood, and healing throughout the day. Around 1 to 3:00 p.m., that rhythm naturally dips. Ignoring it doesn't make you stronger. It quietly stresses your heart, raises blood pressure, and floods your body with cortisol, the stress hormone that speeds up aging. Harvard researchers discovered that seniors who nap 30 to 60 minutes each afternoon have a 37% lower risk of heart disease compared to those who don't. The National Institute on Aging found that short naps also improve memory, sharpen focus, and lift mood for the rest of the day. I think about Estelle, a 77-year-old grandmother from Charlotte, who once believed napping was a sign she was slowing down. She forced herself to stay awake, sipping cold coffee just to keep going. But her afternoons grew foggy, her patience thinner, her evenings restless. When she finally gave herself permission to rest just 45 minutes each day in her quiet bedroom, something changed. Her mind cleared, her energy returned, and her laughter came easier. "It feels like my brain wakes up twice a day now," she told me, smiling. The key isn't just to nap, but to nap the right way. Choose a quiet, cool room where you can lie down comfortably. Draw the curtains, silence your phone, and set an alarm for 30 to 60 minutes. Avoid going beyond 90 minutes, which can leave you groggy and disrupt your nighttime sleep. And if anyone calls you lazy for it, remind them you're following doctor's orders, or better yet, Harvard's. You're not lazy. You're listening to your body's wisdom, the same wisdom that carried you through decades of hard work, family, and life storms. That gentle pull toward rest isn't weakness. It's your body's way of asking for repair time. Every afternoon, nap is like giving your heart a break, your brain a tune-up, and your mood a reset. So tomorrow when the sun softens and your energy fades, don't fight it. Let yourself rest. Close your eyes for a little while. When you wake up, you'll feel lighter, calmer, and ready for the people who matter most, maybe even strong enough to chase your grandkids around the backyard again. Habit 2, why full-fat dairy is your friend. Back in the 1980s, Americans were told one thing loud and clear: fat was the enemy. The headlines warned us that butter would clog our arteries, cheese would wreck our hearts, and whole milk was practically a sin in a glass. Supermarkets filled their shelves with low-fat and fat-free everything, promising health and longevity in shiny plastic tubs. But in chasing the fear of fat, something strange happened. We didn't get healthier. We got sicker. Diabetes, obesity, and heart disease rose faster than ever before, even as people obediently swapped real foods for diet versions. That's because when the fat was removed, something else was added: sugar, artificial flavors, and chemical fillers to make up for the missing taste and texture. That low-fat yogurt that looks so pure on the label, it often held more sugar than a scoop of ice cream. Harvard and Tufts University researchers later discovered that people who regularly eat full-fat dairy, whole milk natural cheese, real butter, actually have a 42% lower risk of type 2 diabetes compared to those who eat low-fat or fat-free versions. Turns out the very thing we were told to fear was quietly protecting us all along. The science makes perfect sense. Natural dairy fat helps stabilize blood sugar, slow digestion, and keep your appetite steady. Those fats carry essential vitamins A, D, E, and K, the ones your body can't absorb without fat present. When we strip the fat out, we're not making the food healthier. We're making it incomplete. And our bodies pay the price with sugar spikes, cravings, and inflammation that quietly damage the heart and metabolism over time. I still remember my friend Terrence from St. Louis. He's 81, lean and active, but for years he followed the low-fat trend faithfully. Skim milk in his cereal, fat-free cheese on his sandwiches, margarine, instead of butter, all in the name of heart health. Yet he struggled with fatigue, constant hunger, and rising blood sugar. When he finally switched back to whole milk and real butter, everything changed. His energy returned, his appetite stabilized, and his doctor was shocked to see his A1C drop within weeks. Terrence just laughed and said, "Guess the cow knew better than the food companies." Let's make it simple. A fat-free yogurt can hold 15 grams of sugar, while plain Greek yogurt with its natural fat has only about 5 and keeps you full much longer. And margarine. It's a lab product made from hydrogenated vegetable oils and additives designed to look like butter. Real butter, on the other hand, comes from cream, and your grandparents spread it on toast every morning without guilt. They live strong lives, often without the modern diseases we now call normal aging. Maybe they were right all along. So here's my advice: skip the fake stuff. Fill your fridge with whole milk, full-fat yogurt, real cheese and butter that actually tastes like butter. Don't fear the calories. Natural fat tells your brain when you're full, helping you eat less overall. The goal isn't to eat more fat, it's to eat real food again, the kind your body recognizes and can use. You don't need to fight your body to stay healthy, you just need to listen to it. Pour that glass of whole milk, add a little butter to your vegetables, and take comfort in knowing that the foods you once loved are not your enemies. They're part of the strength, warmth, and wisdom that built generations before you. Maybe it's time we stop apologizing for enjoying them. Habit 3: coffee, the unexpected health shield. If you're sipping your morning coffee right now, smile, you're doing something wonderful for your brain. For years, we were warned that coffee was dangerous, that it would make our hearts race, our blood pressure rise, and our nerves tremble. Some doctors even told us to quit it altogether, claiming it could damage the liver or drain the adrenals. But today, that advice is being turned upside down. New research from Johns Hopkins and Harvard shows that your daily cup, or even several, might actually be one of the most powerful shields for your brain, heart, and long-term health. Here's the surprising truth: people who drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee a day have up to a 65% lower risk of developing Alzheimer's disease compared to those who drink little or none. That's not wishful thinking, it's solid science backed by decades of research. Studies also reveal lower risks of type 2 diabetes, Parkinson's disease, liver disease, and even certain cancers among regular coffee drinkers. The humble cup that once carried guilt and suspicion has quietly proven itself a friend, not an enemy, to aging bodies. So what makes coffee so powerful? It's packed with over 1,000 natural compounds, including antioxidants that protect your cells from the slow damage of time. Every sip sends these compounds traveling through your bloodstream, neutralizing free radicals that attack your organs and brain. The caffeine in coffee does more than keep you awake. It actually stimulates what scientists call the brain alert system, enhancing focus, mood, and reaction time. Even more fascinating, caffeine helps block the buildup of toxic proteins that lead to Alzheimer's, effectively acting as a natural brain protector. Coffee also helps your body use insulin more efficiently, reducing spikes in blood sugar, a key factor in preventing diabetes and maintaining steady energy levels. For many seniors, those afternoon slumps or foggy moments after meals are linked to unstable blood sugar. A well-timed cup of coffee can gently bring clarity and steadiness back to your day without the crash that sugary snacks create. Let me tell you about Laverne, a 79-year-old woman from Detroit. She'd spent most of her life avoiding coffee because of the old fears that it would make her jittery or raise her pressure. 3 years ago, after reading about coffee's brain benefits, she decided to give it a try. She started with 1 small cup in the morning, then gradually moved to 4 cups spread throughout the day. Today, she says she feels sharper and more focused than she did 10 years ago. Her memory tests at her last checkup even improved. "It's like my brain wakes up when my coffee does," she laughs. Now, before you rush to pour your next cup, let's talk about how to drink it the right way. First stop by 2:00 p.m. Drinking coffee too late in the day can interfere with your natural sleep rhythm. Second, skip the sugar and artificial creamers. A small splash of whole milk or real cream is fine. It even helps your body absorb coffee's beneficial compounds. Third, avoid drinking coffee on an empty stomach. Have it after a light breakfast or meal to prevent acidity or jitters. And lastly, don't switch to decaf thinking it's healthier. Most decaffeination processes strip away many of the antioxidants and beneficial compounds that make coffee so special. Remember, moderation matters. Too much caffeine can cause restlessness or interfere with medication, so listen to your body. But for most healthy adults, 3 to 5 cups spread throughout the day is not only safe, it's protective. And let's not forget something else in America. Coffee is more than a drink. It's part of how we connect. It's the warmth in early morning conversations, the pause that turns neighbors into friends, the small comfort that reminds us we're still part of life's daily rhythm. So tomorrow morning, when you wrap your hands around that warm mug, take a slow breath and know this. You're not just enjoying a habit. You're nourishing your mind, supporting your heart, and protecting your future in a way no pill can match. The sound of the coffee maker, the smell that fills your kitchen, the first sip that greets the day, all of it is a quiet celebration of life still lived with awareness, purpose, and joy. That warm cup in your hands might be doing more for your heart and memory than any bottle on your medicine shelf. Habit 4, why rest days make you stronger. I used to believe in the old saying, no pain, no gain. For decades, I thought pushing harder every single day was the only way to stay strong. But as the years passed, I began to realize something quietly unsettling. Pain was all I had left. My joints ached, my muscles never fully recovered, and even after a good night's sleep, I woke up tired. That's when I learned a truth most people don't talk about. Real strength doesn't come from constant movement. It comes from the right kind of rest. Research from the Mayo Clinic and the National Institute on Aging has revealed that older adults who exercise 4 to 5 days per week and take 2 to 3 full rest days have better muscle tone, higher bone density, and deeper sleep than those who push themselves daily. It's a paradox. Rest less and you actually get weaker. Rest more strategically and your body rebuilds stronger, steadier, and more resilient than before. Here's the science in plain terms. Every time you lift a weight, walk briskly, or even stretch, you create tiny tears in your muscle fibers. That's normal. It's how the body gets stronger. But the repair doesn't happen while you're exercising. It happens after, during rest. Your body uses that downtime to rebuild muscle tissue, strengthen bone, and reset hormones. That's what doctors call muscle protein synthesis, the process that literally makes you stronger. If you never give your body enough rest, that repair cycle breaks down. Instead of building muscle, you start losing it. Your cortisol, the stress hormone, stays high. Over time, that not only eats away at your muscle tissue, but also weakens your immune system and disrupts your sleep. The harder you push without pause, the more your body begins to fight back in the form of inflammation, fatigue, and stiffness that lingers long after your workout ends. I'll never forget Harvey, a 75-year-old retired teacher from Omaha. For years, he prided himself on discipline. He hit the gym 7 days a week without fail, rain, or shine. But gradually, he noticed something wasn't right. His legs felt heavy, his back throbbed, and his energy crashed by mid-afternoon. His doctor told him everything looked fine, but he felt exhausted all the time. Finally, a physical therapist convinced him to take 3 full rest days a week, real rest, not half-hearted breaks. Within a month, Harvey said it was like a fog had lifted. The pain faded, his strength returned, and for the first time in years, he woke up actually feeling rested. "I didn't lose progress," he said with a grin. "I finally made some." That's the irony of overtraining. It disguises itself as dedication. You think you're doing something good, but your body's quietly burning out. The signs are easy to miss: constant tiredness, restless sleep, aching joints, loss of motivation, or that feeling of being wired but tired. Many seniors brush these off as normal aging, but they're often signs that your body is begging for recovery, not more effort. So how do you find the right balance? Schedule 4 or 5 exercise days each week, mixing strength, stretching, and moderate cardio. Then deliberately plan rest days in between. On those days, keep moving lightly. Take a slow walk with your spouse, tend to your garden, or stretch while watching TV. Gentle movement keeps circulation flowing without stressing your muscles or joints. Think of rest days not as being idle, but as active recovery time for your body to absorb the benefits of your hard work. Sleep and nutrition are the other half of the recovery equation. When you sleep, your body releases growth hormone, the very thing that repairs muscle and strengthens bones. Skimping on sleep after exercise is like skipping the last chapter of a good book. You miss the ending that makes it all make sense. Likewise, nourishing your body with protein, magnesium, and healthy fats gives it the raw materials it needs to rebuild stronger. The truth is, rest isn't quitting. It's a form of training in itself. Every pause is a chance for your body to adapt, renew, and prepare for the next challenge. The world tells us to keep going, but wisdom tells us to recover well. There's no shame in slowing down. In fact, it's the secret to staying in motion longer. So tonight, as you turn off the lights and settle into bed, remember this: you earn your strength not while you sweat, but while you sleep. The quiet hours, the ones you used to think were wasted, are when your body does its most important work. Listen to it, honor it, and give it the rest it deserves so you can wake each morning stronger, steadier, and ready to live fully again. When you think about it, life has a funny way of turning wisdom upside down. The very things we were once warned against, the short nap, the buttered toast, the morning coffee, or the lazy day off, have now become the very practices that help us live longer, feel stronger, and stay joyful. They once called them bad habits. Now science calls them longevity secrets. If you followed along this far, you already know the truth I discovered later in life, that good health isn't always about doing more. Sometimes it's about doing less, but doing it wisely. It's about listening, not forcing. It's about balance, not perfection. At 83, I've learned that aging well isn't about chasing youth. It's about understanding your body's rhythm and working with it, not against it. Let's take a moment to remember these 4 simple, powerful habits: the nap, the full-fat dairy, the coffee, and the rest days. They may sound small, but they're like 4 steady pillars holding up your strength, clarity, and peace of mind. First, the nap, that gentle surrender to your body's rhythm. You're not being lazy when you close your eyes after lunch. You're giving your heart a break, your brain a tune-up, and your nervous system a chance to heal. Even nature takes pauses. The sun dips, the tide rests, the birds grow quiet. Why shouldn't we? Then there's dairy, full and rich, not stripped and weakened by the fear of fat. For years, we chased low-fat everything, believing it made us healthier. But we lost something along the way: flavor, satisfaction, and essential nutrients that protect our hearts and stabilize our blood sugar. Now we know better. A splash of whole milk in your oatmeal or a slice of real cheese with your apple isn't indulgence, it's nourishment, the kind that sustains your body and your mood alike. Coffee, that comforting aroma that starts so many mornings, once carried a warning label. Doctors used to frown at it, neighbors whispered about it, and the media called it addictive. But science in its quiet persistence found another story. One of antioxidants, sharper memory and protection against disease. 3 to 5 cups a day, they say, can lower your risk of Alzheimer's by as much as 65%. Imagine that the simple pleasure of your morning cup defending your mind in ways pills never could. And finally, rest, perhaps the most misunderstood of them all. We live in a culture that glorifies motion, productivity, and endurance. But strength doesn't come from constant pushing. It comes from recovery. Muscles grow in the quiet hours. Bones strengthen in the stillness of sleep. And hearts heal in the moments we choose to pause. Rest is not quitting. Rest is the part of the process that makes all the effort worth it. These habits aren't miracles. They don't promise eternal youth or erase the lines on our faces, but they do something more profound. They help us live well within the years we have. They protect the small joys that make aging beautiful: energy, to play with your grandkids, clarity, to read the morning paper, calm, to enjoy your evening walks, and gratitude for another sunrise. I know it's not always easy to change. After 60 or 70 years of being told one thing, it's hard to believe the opposite might be true. Maybe you still feel a little guilty for taking that nap or uneasy about putting cream in your coffee. Maybe you think skipping a workout is a sign of weakness. But I want you to hear this clearly. It's never too late to learn something new about your body. And it's never too late to take better care of it. Your body is wiser than you think. It's been carrying you for decades through loss and love work and play, through the things you've celebrated and the battles you've quietly endured. It speaks in whispers now, a little fatigue here, a touch of stiffness there. It's not complaining, it's communicating. Listening to it is not giving in. It's showing respect for the vessel that's kept you here, strong and steady through it all. So as you sit here, maybe finishing your coffee or watching this before bed, ask yourself, which of these habits do you already do? Which one will you try this week? Will you let yourself rest without guilt? Will you bring back whole milk to your table? Will you close your eyes after lunch just for 30 minutes and let your heart breathe? And if this story gave you even a spark of hope, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Maybe it's your sister who still skips breakfast, or your neighbor who's always tired but refuses to nap. Maybe it's your son or daughter who needs a gentle reminder that slowing down doesn't mean falling behind. Because when we share what truly helps us live better, we pass on something more valuable than advice. We pass on freedom. If you found this message meaningful, I'd love for you to subscribe and stay connected. Not because of the numbers or algorithms, but because community matters. The older we get, the more we realize that connection, genuine human understanding, is as healing as any medicine. And if you didn't like the video, go ahead and hit like anyway, because you might just like how you feel tomorrow. Before we end, let me leave you with this picture. Imagine yourself in the morning light holding a warm cup of coffee in your hands. The sun is soft through the window and the world feels calm. You've earned this moment, the peace, the warmth, the quiet. You've earned your rest, your coffee, your full fat milk, and your right to live strong at any age. Aging smarter doesn't mean doing everything differently. It means finally doing what makes sense, what feels good, natural, and kind to your body. You don't have to fight time. You just have to walk alongside it, one thoughtful choice at a time. And as you do, you'll realize something beautiful: growing older isn't the end of your story. It's the part where you finally understand it.